I'm just going to go through an exercise that is a super effective exercise for strengthening the side hip muscles, which are our stabilizers for any weight-bearing activity. Walking, running, cross-country skiing, anything of that nature. And if our side hip muscles aren't strong, our pelvis is not properly stabilized, and that leads to alignment problems in the lower in the leg, and can cause IT band problems, knee problems, ankle problems, and foot problems. So having these muscles strong is really important, and it's really common that they're weak. But the technique for this exercise is really picky, and if you don't get it right, you'll be strengthening the wrong muscle, so we don't want that. So proper technique for this sideline leg raise is lying on your side. If you have neck issues, you can use a pillow if you want to support your neck. Otherwise, you can have your arm to support it. The bottom knee is bent to stabilize you. The top leg is straight. Now this is the important part. If you find the most prominent bone in the side of your hip, that is the axis of your hip. Stick your finger on it. The rest of your leg has to be behind your finger. So your ankle bone has to be behind that finger when you do this exercise. If you're too far forward and you can see your whole leg and foot, you'll be strengthening the hip flexor. We don't want that. We want to be strengthening here at the sort of side of the butt. So we need to be back here. The foot needs to be horizontal, and we're doing a relatively small range of motion up and down, keeping that leg back the whole time. You should start to feel burning here. Depending on your muscle balance, you might feel it in your low back working pretty hard. Some people feel it all down the side of their leg, and any of that is fine. The bottom leg will start to work too because it's stabilizing you. So this is the motion, nice and slow. This is the correct motion. I'm going to show you the incorrect motion so you don't do it. And what commonly happens, especially when you get tired, is you roll back and your leg goes up forward. And that's really what we don't want, because it's reinforcing the problem, strengthening the hip flexor. So we want to be rotated forward, almost rolling forward slightly. Find that axis. The leg is lifting behind the axis, the foot stays horizontal. We can only get to here because to go up any farther, you have to rotate. That's the only way you'll get up any further. We don't want that. So we want to stay here, and there's a natural stopping point to the motion. So nice and slow repetitions. Ideally, we're building up to 20 at a time, 3 rounds of that on each side.